Hello and welcome Miss Kilburg, who is running for the District 207 board in April 2021 election. Thank you for participating in this candidate interview. I will be asking a variety of questions which have been developed by a collaboration between Maine West Westerner newspaper and Pi Sigma Pi Social Science Honor Society. We will have 2 minutes to share your answer to each one. When the 2 minutes have passed, I ask that you take a few seconds to finish your thoughts so we can move on to the next question. Now, let's start with question 1. If you had 2 minutes to address the people of Des Plaines, what would you say?
Hi, my name is Ashley Kilburg, and I'm running for D207 School Board in April. And as a board member, I would work to improve the academic quality while also fostering a healthy emotional environment for each student. I would try to understand what is working at Maine West and what needs reformed. Through understanding, we grow. Des Plaines is a vibrant town and deserves a high school that prepares its students for their next steps in life. D207 is in the process of upgrading the facilities at Maine West and the other 2 high schools. As a Des Plaines citizen, you deserve to have your tax dollars directly invested in your schools. That is why you chose to live in this suburb, so your children could be in a great school system. After meeting with Superintendent Ken Wallace and learning about the academic initiatives that have been implemented in D207, I hope that students at Maine West are finding success in the Project Lead the Way classes that allow hands-on training to students interested in careers in computer science, engineering, and biomedical science. Classes offered in culinary arts and elementary education are other ways that D207 is innovating and evolving the high school experience to better serve its purpose. I believe that Maine West students and families are extremely fortunate to have as their principal, Dr. McMahon. During our meeting, she demonstrated her determination to implement the educational standards that Maine West students deserve, but she also leads with compassion for the challenges her students face and is trying to find sustainable solutions. This past year has been extremely difficult, and the science is clear that there is no substitute for in-person learning. It is my hope now that the vaccine is available to teachers, we will be able to have all D207 schools fully open in the fall to best serve their students. School is essential to the growth and health of all students. High-quality public education and services must be available to our Maine West warriors so they can have a safe and positive environment to reach their goals. If elected, I will lead with empathy and listen to your needs.
Okay, thank you. Now, question 2. Some students say that between the pandemic and our past experiences with school shooter drills, school's kind of a scary place. What concrete things can be done to make school feel both safe and welcoming?
The world feels uncertain, sometimes even scary these days. Dr. McMahon and I discussed the importance of the multi-tiered support system of safety at Maine West. It starts with each student having a counselor from whom they can receive advice and help. Maine West has several psychologists available, 2 school nurses, social workers, and assistant principals who oversee the student experience. Regarding the safety of the building, all entrances are secure, and there is a secure foyer that offers a double layer of security. Safety monitors are the only individuals allowed to grant access to the building, and your SRO officer is on campus 5 days a week in constant contact with the students, staff, teachers, administration, and local authorities so that he can constantly oversee and monitor the safety of the building and the students. The anonymous alert system is also available to students 24 hours a day when they feel they need to provide the school with information that could help another student or themselves.
Okay, now question 3. What can be done to promote equality in schools, especially with regards to race, sexual identity, and gender identity?
Schools should and need to promote equity so that all students feel respected. As part of a diverse high school like Maine West, students should learn to be supportive of their fellow warriors and their unique experiences, while also remembering they are part of a community that wants to see each student succeed. Students need to be provided with a rigorous academic experience that prepares them to be critical thinkers and part of the global community. Freshman focused seminars should be provided by senior leaders to encourage students to be respectful and inclusive to all students. This type of collaborative work amongst the students would help to foster a partnership with one another and build bonds of acceptance and understanding. Through communication and compassion, we can create a school where all students can thrive. We face a lot of challenges as a society, but these challenges provide us a crucial opportunity as Americans and as humans. If we work together to understand and solve each other's problems and each other's pain compassionately, then truly all things are possible.
Some classes and areas of the building feel very crowded even during the normal school year. For the safety of all students now and in the future, what long-term adjustments to the classrooms, building spaces, or class enrollment numbers could help lessen the risks of everyone's health and safety?
The average class size is 21 at Maine West and is the same at the other two D207 high schools. This is below the national average of 24 students. The process of improving certain building spaces is fully in motion, and you should see dramatic improvements to the flow of students in the hallways, common spaces, access to counselors, mental health professionals, social workers, teachers, and career and college counseling as the construction project moves along over the next few years.
Students feel pressured to take AP classes even as a freshman coming into the system when they take AP World History. It's usually harder to drop AP classes from your schedule than regular classes, which sometimes makes students feel stuck. What are your thoughts about this issue?
I do not think that students should feel pressured to take AP classes. Many colleges are no longer accepting AP courses anymore, as they were allowing students to graduate early, and this was not advantageous. Students need to be placed in classes that are challenging, but not beyond their scope of academic mastery. The important thing is for students to be in a class where they feel comfortable to learn and to collaborate and stretch their mental muscles, but not to sink and feel stressed.
What would you take from remote learning environment and integrate into a typical learning experience?
I am not an advocate for remote learning, although I am empathetic to those that need it for health reasons. I can see that it will be beneficial moving forward to have this form of learning available to students who are not able to be present on campus due to health concerns or family issues. I have consistently advocated for our public schools to reopen using scientific studies that show students and teachers can indeed be safe using proper protocols. Schools are where our children learn not only essential academic disciplines, but they also learn valuable social and emotional skills.
How will you include student perspectives when making decisions about academics, extracurriculars, and other aspects of daily school life?
If elected, I would always be available to students via email, and I would be happy to create quarterly Zoom meetings wherein students could voice their concerns or ideas for improvement to me. My husband and I have a saying in our house: we don't have problems, we have solutions. I think it would be important for students to be able to voice their concerns directly to me so we could hopefully find a way as a board to provide a solution. I do not believe student access to board members has been done in this manner previously.
How will you hear from teachers and staff about what works best to make their classes successful?
Teachers and staff could also contact me via email to discuss their concerns or ideas. I will be speaking with each principal, looking for their advice on how to potentially open up this line of communication.
Currently, many students feel that it is important to keep safe and healthy even if it means not everyone can be in person at all times. With colds and the flu getting passed around and causing many absences even in the normal year, what have you learned from this year that could make our schools safer and healthier?
School closures carry high social and economic costs for people across communities. I believe that education is an essential part of our children's lives, and that teachers, as essential workers, should receive top priority in terms of their safety, since the virus is more dangerous to adults than to children. Those safety measures have been employed in many districts with success. With the vaccine now available to teachers, and with several studies confirming that schools are safe environments and do not contribute to the spread of COVID 19, it is time for students to return to the safe community inside the walls of Maine West. The consensus among experts is that the detrimental impact kids suffer from being out of school greatly outweighs the risk posed by COVID 19 to their age demographic. In fact, many school districts have already reopened successfully.
In the light of mental health issues many students have in more intensified way because of the pandemic, how will you adjust the schedule or create opportunities for students to help save a space to deal with those issues? What kind of actions will you take to prioritize mental health during the school year, even in a non-pandemic year? This is a concern for many students.
I think that student mental health is a primary focus for D207 administration, and it should continue to be such. The World Health Organization tells us that depression is now the single leading cause of disability, outstripping cancer, outstripping heart disease. I believe that students should have counselors that check in on them every month to monitor their students' stress and emotional needs. School psychologists and social workers should be available and reaching out to students that have been identified as needing intervention. There is a multi tiered support system for students, and we need to continue to make those programs more readily available to all students at all times. My plan is to continue to highlight these critically important services and make this more of a mainstream as well as accepted component of student life.
What are your biggest priorities with regards to spending the school district's budget?
My biggest priority to spending the school district budget is
Mhm.
efficiency. For decades, we have seen inefficient spending. My focus and priority will be to make sure the tax dollars of our community are spent not only efficiently, but also appropriately. I intend to listen and discover what is important to each and every high school, to assist the school board in formulating the proper plan and approach to efficiently improve our high schools with hard earned tax dollars from our community.
Given the demographics at each school are very different both economically and culturally, how will you ensure that all students receive an equal education regardless of the zip code?
In order to ensure an equal education for all students in D207, my goal will be to assist the school board in understanding that all students matter. In addition, we must have a diversified and proper approach to offer comprehensive schooling to all students, no matter their ethnicity or zip code. By focusing on equality and seeking to ensure each and every school board project addresses equality, I believe we can accomplish this inclusive goal. I have met with each principal and the superintendent to discuss this important matter.
Is there anything else you would like the voters to know?
In hopes of becoming a D207 board member in April, I have been busy doing my homework. Over the past several months, I have reached out to community leaders to learn more about what is important to their families and students in the three schools that D207 serves. I have had meaningful discussions with aldermen, SRO officers, principals, and the D207 superintendent, Dr. Ken Wallace. These conversations have helped give me deeper insight into some things that we are doing well and some things that need reformed. I want to be a calm voice in the storm and, moreover, be a positive and supportive advocate for all D207 students. I passionately would like to serve these students and families in the 9 towns that make up D207, and I ask for your vote on April 6th. Thank you.
That concludes our interview questions. If voters would like to know more information about your platform or your plans, what would be the best way for them to find details?
I have created a Facebook page It is Ashley Kilburg for Maine 207 School Board. And that's a great place to reach me or to ask me questions.
Great. Thank you again for your participation in this interview.